Get ready. Our CBC News decision desk is ready to make a call. Canada's next government will be a Liberal government. It is not yet clear at this hour whether it will be a minority or majority. Because of some of those close races we were talking about, this marks a fourth Liberal mandate. Very rare in Canadian politics. But the Liberal Party, led by Mark Carney, has pulled it off. A stunning reversal.
Well, I'm certainly relieved to have been wrong. However, while I was wrong in predicting a Conservative minority government, I was not wrong in my assertion that this election would be far closer than the polls were indicating, as evidenced by the Liberals only securing a minority government, albeit a strong one with 169 seats. As expected, this election ended up being a two-horse race, with only the Liberal and Conservative parties gaining seats, while every other party lost them. The only other party that maintained official party status was the Bloc Québécois. You may recall this table of swing ridings from my last video, and I tried to fill it out as best I could over the course of the night. And a lot of these ridings were incredibly close, including one way out in Newfoundland, where the Liberal incumbent won by just 12 votes. The election also emphasized the deep east-west divide in Canada, with the Conservatives very nearly sweeping the prairies. Alberta was more stereotypically Albertan this time around, sending a whopping 3 non-Conservative MPs to Parliament. Not to be outdone, Saskatchewan sent 1. The Liberal victory also reignited talks of Alberta separation, so that's just great. Even though rural Manitoba went mostly Conservative, the city of Winnipeg, my hometown, was largely dominated by the Liberals. Winnipeg South, a bellwether riding that last elected a member of the opposition way back in 1965, remained Liberal. In my own riding of Winnipeg North, Liberal incumbent Kevin Lamro was also re-elected. Unfortunately, due to vote splitting between the Liberals and NDP, Elmwood Transcona was flipped to the Conservatives. And speaking of the NDP, they suffered their worst results in the history of the party, sending just 7 MPs to Parliament and finishing without official party status for the first time since 1993. Party leader Jagmeet Singh lost his own seat out in British Columbia and promptly resigned as party leader, as was expected by a lot of people. However, in one of the biggest surprises of election night, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre lost his own seat out in Carleton, Ottawa. Now, as someone who, admittedly, finds Poilievre to be extremely annoying, I have to give credit where it's due. The guy conceded the election with a surprising degree of dignity and grace. Good for him. Despite the election loss, Poilievre has made it clear that he intends to stay on as party leader. As of this recording, they've already found an MP willing to give up his seat. One of the safest Conservative seats in the country, in fact. And in a refreshing act of non-partisanship, Prime Minister Carney has announced that a by-election for that seat will be held at the earliest possible opportunity. Take notes, Premier Smith. However, until Poilievre actually wins that by-election, an elected MP will be needed to lead the opposition in the House of Commons. And exactly who did the Conservatives select to lead them on an interim basis?
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend.
As a political moderate who obviously voted Liberal, I believe Prime Minister Carney's shifting of the party towards the center of the political spectrum gives me reason to be cautiously optimistic about Canada going forward. I believe at minimum, he'll do a better job at running the country than Justin Trudeau, especially with regards to the economy. Now, while I may be convinced by Carney's policies. 56% of those who voted think otherwise. And to be fair, it's understandable for them to feel that way after almost 10 years of a, let's just say, tumultuous premiership under Trudeau. One of Carney's biggest campaign promises was to be tough on Trump, and his ability to do so was tested earlier this week. It went reasonably well, I guess. There's only so much you could do in trying to deal with that guy. Kevin Lamoureux was nice enough to grant a short interview after his victory speech, and I asked him a question purely in the interest of providing some peace of mind to Canadians who didn't vote Liberal, especially if they voted Conservative.
So I'm here with the newly re-elected Kevin Lamoureux of Winnipeg North. Kevin, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And obviously, this election went right down to the wire. A lot of people are upset, feel that they've been let down by the Liberal Party under Justin Trudeau. Could you say something to reassure these people and give some hope into what we could look forward under a premiership under Mark Carney?
I think that the Liberal Party was very successful in being able to show that we can have change from within the party and present a good policy platform, and Canadians responded to that. My understanding is this evening that we won more seats than any other political party, which should then enable Mark Carney to continue on as the Prime Minister. I believe that Canadians as a whole have recognized Mark Carney as the best individual to be able to deal with the Donald Trump tariffs, trade, and the economy in general. So whatever the numbers are, I would hope that you'd have a majority of members of Parliament that will put the party politics to the side so that we can actually focus on Canadian interests. And that's what I'll be pushing for.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin, and
My pleasure.
congratulations again.
My pleasure.
And best of luck
Thank
on
you.
Parliament Hill once again, at least one more term.
It'll go one term at a time. Take care.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you.
Mike.
To be fair, I kind of put Kevin on the spot with this question, so his response is not as robust as it could have been. But he's a good guy, and clearly dedicated to Carney's vision of unity and cooperation among all parties during these times of political and economic uncertainty. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, leave a comment down below, and maybe subscribe to the channel. Really helps me out. Till then, elbows up, and stay Canada strong.